What do Forever 21, Hobby Lobby, and the Standard Oil Company all have in common? They were founded by wealthy, kingdom-building Christians. They build nonprofits, fund the ministries, and between them sow hundreds of millions of dollars into building his kingdom. And they didn't have to do it by worshiping money as their God. They did it by following good biblical Christian principles. Now, what they did is not rocket science. You see, there's what most people do when trying to create multiple streams of income. They plug into the world system, which is love money, use people. And then there's a different approach, one that I had to learn the hard way through starting 10 different businesses. Many of them were train wrecks. The last few have been 6- and 7-figure businesses. And if there's only one thing I could tell myself when I was first getting started, it would be to unplug from the world system and plug into the kingdom system. Hi, my name is Paul Bacco, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you a different way to create wealth so you can give at the level you've been called to without sacrificing your beliefs. Well, look, when I first started in business close to 20 years ago, 25 years ago, all I wanted was freedom. Freedom to command my own time, to make my own decisions, and to focus on my mind what I wanted to focus on based on what I believed God was wanting me to focus on. And most of all, I knew in my heart that God was calling me to give more to his kingdom. He had been for quite some time. But it was frustrating because I couldn't see how to get from where I was to where I wanted to be, where I believed he wanted me to be. And since then, I've started 10 different businesses. The first few were disasters. Oh my gosh, they were such disasters. The next few were 6 figures, and the last few have all been 7 figures. And thank goodness that the one skill that I brought to the table was stubbornness and the refusal to give up. I just wouldn't quit, period. And it was intensely uncomfortable, hard on my marriage. I mean, it was insane. But we went through that. We went through the valley and of the shadow of death, and we're good to go, okay? And, you know, you see these knuckleheads flashing these shiny objects, their cars and all that materialistic crap. And, you know, I don't say this to impress you, but just to reinforce you that creating wealth is a worthwhile pursuit. Because when you have wealth, you can do much more than buy new cars, watches, and houses. Now, don't get me wrong. Having that stuff is fun for the first 15 minutes, but the excitement wears off, and it becomes more about giving. In kingdom building, it is truly more blessed to give than to receive, truly. But when you can only give 50 here, 100 there, and there are dozens more charities and ministries that you wish you could give into, but you don't have enough, your giver is limited. It gets constrained. It's bottlenecked. It's frustrating. It's cut off. So at the end of the day, it comes down to building wealth, because if you're a giver, if you have the heart to be a giver, guess what? By default, you need to have the heart to be a receiver. To give big, you have to receive big. You have to become a pipeline. So at the end of the day, it comes down to building wealth, and not just income from some side hustle, okay? We need kingdom building level of wealth. And there's a lot of ways to do that. However, here's my warning. If you're aligned with God's principles, then you know the price is going to be work. Faith without works is dead, right? So what's the alternative? Simple. When you're not aligned with godly principles and you create that kind of income, then it's not kingdom building, is it? In that case, you're aligned with something else and on a pursuit of wealth, which is much less fulfilling. The path will still take worth, but I promise the price will be much greater. But I can attest that when you commit to our Father's work and tune into his channel for guidance and use his principles, which is primarily simply deliver excellent value to the marketplace, right? Solve problems, do good, go about doing good like Jesus did, then you can harvest, because God has a purpose for you to fulfill, period. And only you can fulfill it. He's not going to tease you with things and then not allow you to fulfill them, right? He'll put those things in your heart, but you got to step out into the uncomfortable. You got to step out into faith, baby. You got to go through the labor pains, baby, to birth that vision, to birth that child. You got to pursue them, right? God requires passion, okay? And in absence of passion, you know, read in Revelations, man. You're lukewarm. I'm just going to puke you out, right? Passion, enthusiasm. That's what it's about, okay? And he gave you a purpose to fulfill. And frankly, if you did fail, then you'd be calling him a liar. Oh, Paul, that hurts. Sorry, it's the truth, okay? Because either his word is works, his principles work, or he's a stinking liar, okay? And I just believe, I know they work, and I know he's not a liar, but you got to walk that out yourself, okay? God has no grandkids. You got to develop your own faith with him yourself. And you got to prove it out, and you got to walk it out, and you got to become bulletproof, and you got to know that no one can shake your tree, okay? And I've seen it proven, you know, in my life and hundreds of other lives. Now, since I got started 25 years ago, I've analyzed over 150 different business models, and I'm confident that I find the one that rules them all. Now, if you got millions and millions of dollars, there's other options, but for the normal dude, blue collar upbringing like myself, this one is the one, okay? It will not work for those who worship money as their God. So if that's you, just click off this ad, go do something else. This isn't for you. But if you're good, faith-based Christian looking to sow more into the kingdom, start your next business, okay? And listen, even if it's just to escape the 60-hour-a-week rat race so you can spend some time with your spouse and kids once in a while, start your own business, okay? On the next page, I put together the 3 keys that I've learned from decades of experience, along with some step-by-step demonstrations for how this business model works. There's no opt-in required. I don't want your email. I want your impact in the kingdom. So check it out. It might be interesting for a Christian who feels a deeper calling on their heart for some time. We'll give you a few more seconds. Click the link below to check out the Christian Entrepreneur Manifesto now. Thanks and have a blessed day.